amazing superwoman of the Escape the Rat Race tribe. I'm so happy that we are all here. I'm happy that I'm here. And I'm so happy to be talking with all of you guys on this amazing topic. I don't know if it just cut and started again. I don't know. So if you didn't hear anything of what I said like I'm so happy that we are here, and I'm so happy to get the chance to speak and to connect with all of you. Because as the title say, or will say when I add a title, is that how I went from waking up in the mornings feeling so depressed that I just wish that it would be evening again so that I could hide in front of a happy romantic comedy, drink alcohol, and eat a big bowl of popcorn. How I went from that to waking up 4 a.m. Monday to Friday, being so freaking excited about my own life, being so excited about my own reality, so that I can't wait to get my day started. That is what we will be covering today. Who would be excited to hear about that? Who would be excited to hear how it actually is possible to go from feeling that you don't even want to wake up in the mornings, feeling like maybe you don't even want to be on planet Earth, to actually create a life that is so magical, so that you're like, I can't wait to get my day started. Nowadays, I really enjoy drinking. Like every time I celebrate my clients, I always drink a glass of bubbles because I really enjoy bubbles. But it's like, it's a very different way of consuming alcohol nowadays. So before it was to cover and trying to numb all the emotions that I felt. Whoever felt a lot of emotions and you didn't know what to do with them, so therefore you drank alcohol to cover them. Drop an emoji of a glass or a bottle or something below. And I learned that from an early age, already when I was 19 and I lived in London and my life was kind of like a big fat massive mess. I learned that alcohol was a very good way of numbing my emotions, to not having to feel anything and just forget who I was. Today I know that life is not supposed to be meant to be forgotten. None of us came here to forget about our life. We all came here, my understanding is that we all came here with a big fat massive purpose, and when we tap into that purpose, that is when we can live a life that actually feels meaningful and feels amazing. Oh, hey Hannah, yeah, I see that you're here. Yep, okay, I am super happy that you will be watching the replay later on and you can relate to that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm very excited for you to come back and watch this later on, so I wish you a super beautiful day so far. And this is the thing, the women who are drawn to my work. Like, by the way, if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Linda. I'm the founder of this Facebook group that you're right now in, Escape the Rat Race with a Purposeful Laptop Lifestyle. And I'm also the founder of a program called the Master Manifestor Program, which is a program that teaches women how to really connect with themselves, to really understand who they are, what they have come to Earth to do, and then to start to make money from those soul gifts. Because the women who are drawn to the women who are drawn to my work, they all feel that they need freedom in their life, and they have been testing so many different things. If you have tested different manifestation techniques, say me, there are so many women who have tested so many different manifestation techniques, and I had done that too. First of all, when I heard about the law of attraction, it was through the movie The Secret. I just got so upset, and I was like, because they kept saying like, well, you created your own reality, and I was like, why would anybody create a reality where you feel like you want to drink alcohol each and every night? No one, right? And I just got so upset, because I was like, if I had the power to change my reality, I would. Trust me, I would. But the thing was that they never, in that movie, they talked about like your thoughts create your reality, which is completely nonsense. Your thoughts does not create your reality. If you could change your reality by thinking differently, you would already have changed your reality, right? We need to understand that our mind, it has two different parts. We have the conscious mind, which is only 5% of our manifestation power. So this is the problem with so many self-help books and self-help courses, that they are trying to work with your conscious mind. They're teaching you a lot of stuff, like how to think differently, how to be a positive person. Who has ever heard that you have to be a positive person in order to manifest the life you want, right? You are positive. Like, nothing could be further from the truth. Back in those days, I had, because I was in a network marketing company and I had mentors, and every time I told them, I was like, I'm so frustrated, nothing is working out for me. And they were all saying, like, do you want to have it that way? And I was like, no, of course not. And then they were like, well, then don't say it. So basically, I learned, so Sophia, you said, like, you have heard that you have to stay positive in order to manifest the life you, not the life you want. So Sophia, since you are a part of the Master Manifester tribe, and you're part of the Master Manifester program, and you're working very closely with me, what is it that you know now? Is it that you have to be positive all the time in order to manifest the life you want? What are your thoughts about that now when you have done the training? So Sophia is one of my amazing clients, and Hannah is also one of my amazing clients, like both of these women that just wrote comments. And this is incredible, because when I was so stuck in my life, I even felt like I don't want to be here. I want to go home. I didn't really know what home meant, but I just knew it wasn't where I lived. So I used to live in Luleå. I am from Stockholm. And I even remember when I told my ex-husband, I was like, I just want to go home. And he said, where is home? Is that Stockholm? And I was like, as soon as he said that, I understood, like, no, that is not Stockholm. I understood in that second when he asked me if that was Stockholm, my home. And I was like, no, my home is not on planet Earth at all. Whoever felt that your home is not on planet Earth, you don't really belong here. If you felt like you didn't really belong to planet Earth, just put the symbol of planet Earth and then I will know. This is so common. The thing is that so many people, they make us feel that we are alone in this feeling. Whoever felt alone in this feeling, you felt like, I'm so alone. I used to feel completely alone. And I really was alone. Because I could not attract friends. Because every time I hang out with people, I just felt like they were draining my energy, and it just didn't feel good. Today, this morning, when Jonas, my amazing boyfriend, and we had breakfast here at the co-working space like we normally do in the cafe. And then I saw an amazing woman coming in, and I was like, oh, she has a really, really, really nice energy. Oh, so Caroline, you're giving the earth symbol. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Panila as well. Hi, amazing ladies. I didn't know that you guys were here. Wonderful. So, hey, welcome to the party. When I'm doing the lives from my computer, I can't see who's here. So I'm super happy that you're all like putting the earth symbol. So all these women are telling me now that you all felt that you didn't belong to planet Earth. And this is also when we are feeling so disconnected on planet Earth. We feel like people don't really understand me. Who felt that way? People don't understand me. You can just do this symbol with a woman raising her hand if you felt like it is a snowstorm outside now. I just see that. Sorry, I just had to reflect on that. It is really a snowstorm going on, but it is so cozy. Like, I love the snow. But anyway, so this morning when we had a breakfast and I see this woman coming in, and I was like, I really like her energy. And then I didn't say anything to her, I just smiled at her. But then we walked past her and I smiled at her again, and she smiled back at me. And then I said to Jonas, I was like, I just have to go back and tell her that she has a lovely energy. And I did, and I was like, you have such an amazing energy, and I just love your aura. And she was like, wow, that means so much to me, thank you so much. And then she was like, that probably says more about yourself than about me. She was like, you have the ability to see people for who they are. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then I connected with her, and now we are friends on Instagram, and now she will probably come in here and sit with us in our co-working space today, because I invited her here. And this is the thing, when we are so connected, so I see all the hands that you felt like, I'm alone, I can't connect with people on planet Earth. And this is the thing, when we are becoming more and more true to ourselves and we're realizing who we are, then we can connect with people who are on the same frequency, on the same vibration. This is what I'm talking about, like really building our soulmate tribe and our soulmate business. We can build a soulmate based business We have the power to do so. And I'm going to share a bit more with you about what I do and how I teach women to do this. So, when we are feeling this disconnection, we really need to understand why. Why do I feel so disconnected? Why do I feel so frustrated? So if you are in a place right now when you're drinking alcohol each and every night to just numb your feelings, the problem is never the problem. The problem is not probably that you're addicted to alcohol. The problem is something beneath. We need to go deeper. We need to understand what is the root cause why you're drinking in the first place. What are the emotions that you're trying to numb? And you see, I didn't even know that I had a problem with alcohol until I heard someone else say that she drank about a bottle each night. And then I was like, oh shit, but if she's doing that, like, I didn't drink a bottle a night. That would have completely passed me out, but I was definitely drinking a few glasses. And I was drunk so many times. I was drunk when I went to bed on a normal day. So we're not talking about a party here. This is normal days. And it was even a time when, in the end of my time in Lulu, when I was still with my ex-husband, like, he was a loving guy, but he was a professional ice hockey player. I don't like ice hockey. I really don't like ice hockey. They fight on the ice, and I really don't like that. It doesn't resonate with me. Fighting, and then people in the audience are standing up and applauding them, and that just made me so freaking angry because I can't stand violence. And I'm not here to encourage anybody to be a violent person. And this is what made me so angry every time I went to the ice hockey games. I hated it. Because it's like, I don't stand up for this. Okay? So one night, him and I, we had his brother and the brother's wife over. And we were sitting there talking, and they were talking about ice hockey. And I just felt like I'm so disconnected. Like, I can't relate to them. I don't understand what they're talking about, and I don't care what they're talking about. And I think that they kind of drank Coke, all of them, like Coke Zero or something. What did I drink? I drank wine. And so specifically remember this. I was drinking wine. I was kind of trying to reading their lips of what they were talking about, and I was kind of wishing that was somewhere else. What I knew that I wanted to be traveling. I knew that I wanted to have money. I knew that I wanted to have freedom in my life, but I was completely stuck in the sense of I couldn't really make money. I had never found any formal career that felt suitable to me, and I was also stuck in the relationship in that sense that since he was an ice hockey player, it was not like we could, even though if we would have had the money, it was not like I could just take off to the Maldives or anything like that, because I was kind of stuck with him because of his career as well. So I was living in the shadow of somebody else. So yeah, there I am sitting drinking my wine, probably wishing myself away, wishing that I was in the Maldives or something like that, like diving with the dolphins or something. That was a dream of mine. So probably was thinking about that. And then I thought to myself, like, I'm gonna go into the kitchen and I'm gonna grab another bottle of wine. And you know what happened? When I stood up, I was like, whoo! I had no idea how completely drunk I had gotten from just sitting there, like, hearing these people's conversation, being so bored, just drinking, to numb myself and to kind of not having to feel the frustration of being such an outsider, because I was like, I don't want to be here, but I am here. I don't know, why am I here? Who can relate to that feeling? You are somewhere and you're like, I really don't want to be here, but I don't know how to get out. Like, physically, you do know, like, you can open the door and you can go out, but what shall you do? You have to come back home again, right? So I was trapped. I was stuck in a life that did not feel like my own life, and I didn't want to be there. But the problem was I didn't know how to get out. I had listened to the law of attraction shitty stuff. It didn't work. The more affirmations I used, the more frustrated I got. Who has ever tested affirmations and you got more frustrated when using affirmations? Write the word affirmations so that I know. Here is the things. What changed for me? What changed for me? I have to think. What specific moment was it that changed everything for me? Because I was also going through infertility and the doctors couldn't tell me what was going on. It was called unexplained infertility, meaning that everything looked good in the physical body. Then, thanks to an IVF doctor, she figured out that I didn't have any ovulation. Like all the other doctors or nurses, they have taken a test and they were like, oh, your body's working fine. And I kept telling them, like, my period is very irregular. Like, sometimes it's 22 days, sometimes it's like 50 days. And they were like, don't bother about it. So, Pernilla, thank you so much for saying affirmations. Yeah, this is the thing. So many women. Okay, so Hannah, you have done affirmations and they have saved you. Okay, amazing. So this is another part of affirmations. When we're using affirmations that actually are in alignment with our subconscious beliefs, then they are working. But the problem for me was that people told me to do affirmations like I am rich, and since I knew I wasn't rich, then that triggered everything within my whole system. Like it's a lie, and then everything just became worse. So that is a completely different training on affirmations, and this is something that I do teach in the program with Master Manifestor as well, that you already are learning. So I know that you're learning so many amazing things in the program. But yeah, so this was one IVF doctor, because I knew in my whole heart, like that was the first time I actually listened to my intuition, when my intuition told me, Linda, do not do IVF. Like that will be rape, like as if you would rape your own body. That was completely wrong for me. I knew I wasn't supposed to do IVF. But since I was a people pleaser, who is or have been a people pleaser, right? The word people pleaser. Thank you. Since I was a people pleaser, I really wanted to please my ex-husband because he really wanted children, and I wanted to please my mom because she was frustrated that I didn't get pregnant, probably because it took them 1 year to get pregnant with me, and it was super frustrating for my mom, and now she saw me going through the same pain, and I was actually 5 years, like maybe 3.5 years into the infertility journey when we went to, so people pleaser. So I was probably 3.5 years into the whole fertility journey when we went to the IVF, and I really thought it was just a consultation. But then I figured out that actually it wasn't just a consultation. It was more like, oh, how can we get you started on your IVF journey? And I was like, hey, I'm not going to get started with this IVF journey. That was actually the first time ever in history that my ex-husband felt embarrassed by me, because the nurse, she was like, who shall take the injections on Linda? And I was like, nobody shall take the injections on me. And she was like, well, I have to talk about this because you are here in our clinic and you are going to do IVF. And I'm like, I'm not going to do IVF. This is not right for me. And I remember I had so much panic, and I told her, I was like, if you don't stop talking, this was the first time I ever stood up for myself. And I was like, if you don't stop talking about taking the injections, one or two things are going to happen. I'm either going to faint right here, right now, because I hate the idea of having anything injected into my body, or I'm going to walk out of here. And I just remember, because my ex-husband, he was also a people pleaser, and he felt so ashamed. But that was the only time he felt ashamed, because that was kind of the only time I stood up for myself, right? But thanks to that whole situation and the IVF doctor, she was really nice. Like, that was the nurse telling us about the injections, that I was like, no. But the IVF doctor, she was really nice. She actually listened to me and she understood me, and she was very interested in actually helping me, which was a new experience. I just felt like I was a number in a queue basically all the other time, but she cared about me. So when I told her about my irregular period, she was like, I think you don't have ovulation. And I was like, well, they have done all the tests. She was like, I don't think you have ovulation. So she encouraged me to just go and buy those really effective clear blue monitor tests. And she was like, I'm going to call you once a month. Is that okay? And we're going to make sure if you have ovulation or not having ovulation. And she was like, is that all right? I was like, yeah, super happy. Thank you so much. And she was right. I didn't have any ovulation. So it went about 2 months, and then I got so dedicated. I was like, how can I heal myself? How can I figure this out? Because I knew IVF wasn't right for me, but I also at the same time knew that I was going to be a mom. So I was like, I have to figure this one out. And this is when I found a connection that our subconscious mind, this was actually through my first teacher, who became my first teacher, a super amazing woman. She was talking about how if we have a subconscious block or a contradicting belief in our subconscious mind, that can prevent us from having the physical results that we want. And I was like, that makes so much sense, because I knew that I was very, very afraid of giving birth. I thought that was gonna die when I would give birth, so I was terrified of giving birth. And I was also terrified of being pregnant, because I felt like when you're pregnant, you're gonna have a big belly and you're gonna kind of be stuck. You can't do stuff like that a normal normal person can do. Like, I knew that I was feeling all of this. So it made so much sense to me that if we have a subconscious block, it can actually prevent us from manifest the life we want. So that in itself wasn't strange. And when I started to hear that, and then I could start to figure out, like, what are all these different blockages? What are all of these different fears in my own subconscious mind? And I bought a hypnotic recording, because this is also when I figured out about hypnosis, and I was like, hypnosis, isn't that super, super weird? I thought hypnosis was something that you do on stages, right? That people jingle something like a watch or something in front of your eyes, and then you kind of fall asleep, and then you wake up and you're walking like a dog, or you're sounding like a duck, or whatever. So that was my only experience with hypnosis. So I was like, hypnosis, is that not like super weird? But then I started, so I didn't tell anybody. I was secretly researching hypnosis. Who has ever felt that hypnosis may be a bit scary? So write your word scary if you feel that way right now, or if you have ever felt that way, because then we know that we are the same. Because I thought it was super weird, so I'm like, I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm researching hypnosis. But the thing is, I bought a hypnotic recording to give instructions to my subconscious mind. So Hannah, Matilda, thank you so much for sharing this. And Hannah, since you are a client of mine, like you have done hypnosis now, you have both, you're starting to help other people with hypnosis, and you have got help from me and my whole program. Hannah, how do you feel about hypnosis now, when you have a bit more experience? And thank you so much. So Matilda says scary, Sofia says scary, Marianne says scary. Thank you so much for sharing. Then you know how I used to feel. But the thing was, I bought a hypnotic recording for my subconscious mind to program my subconscious mind with a perfect ovulation. The thing is, with our subconscious mind, it is like a computer. You know, when you have a computer, it can kind of execute on the stuff based on the programs it has. So how would I say this? You know, or maybe take your phone as a better example. You know, sometimes when we want to download an app to our phone, it says like, you can't download this app to your phone before you have upgraded the settings in your phone. Does that make sense? Same thing with our subconscious mind. Like, if we have a subconscious mind, like, I want to get pregnant, but the programming in our subconscious mind is that, no, you shouldn't get pregnant, because if you get pregnant, then you may die. And the only role of the subconscious mind is to protect us from the unsafe. And since my subconscious mind thought that it was unsafe to get pregnant, it had blocked my fertility from actually working. Does that make sense? Same thing with you. If you want a life of freedom, but you kind of know that if I'm gonna create a life of freedom, then I have to go outside my comfort zone, and my comfort zone is there to keep me safe. And if I go outside my comfort zone, then people may not like me, and then I may be rejected from my whole tribe. I may be rejected from my friends and from my family, and then I may die. This is how the subconscious mind is kind of making conclusions that are not really logical, but they are real for the subconscious mind. So it's like a programming, and this programming keeps running the show for us. So our subconscious mind is what is running your whole life right now. Every result that you have in your life exactly right now is a result of your subconscious programming. So when we want different results in our life, we need to change the programming. So Hannah, thank you for sharing this. So you said that no, it does not feel scary. It is extremely effective and not out of control at all. Amazing. Thank you so much, Hannah, for sharing this. Was your first feeling why you felt that it was scary? Was that because you felt that you would be out of control, Hannah? Was that the basic fear? I would love to know that. And I believe that this is also super helpful for everybody else who is listening to this as well, to just hear somebody who used to, like myself, who used to feel like hypnosis was really scary, but now they know that you're not at all out of control. Actually, when I did a hypnosis session with my boyfriend on our 5th date, because he was very brave and he asked me, he was like, do you think that you could help me to do a hypnosis session, because I really want to understand my feelings better? So I was like, yeah, for sure, I can do that. And he was very afraid, like Hannah said, he was very afraid that he would feel out of control. But then afterwards he was like, oh, that was amazing, because I actually felt more in control. Because now it's like when we are in hypnosis, it is like we can see everything. We get access to our subconscious mind. We get access to the whole programming. Normally when we are speaking like this, we can't see the programming. But when we are in the hypnotic state, the therapy hypnosis is completely different from stage hypnosis, just to make that clear. Two completely different things. So when we are in the therapy version of hypnosis, then we can access the programming in our subconscious mind, and we can see everything that is going on. So that is what Jonas, my boyfriend, said as well. Like, he was like, I felt super much in control because I could see and feel and understand everything. And understanding is power. When we understand, why do I have this programming that I have, this is when we can start to change it. So within 3 weeks of the programming on my subconscious mind, reprogramming the fertility blockages that I had, I started my own ovulation. The doctors had told me that the only way to help me was to do IVF or to give me hormones and other injections to get my ovulation started. And now I started it by myself. And that was such an empowering moment. I remember peeing on that stick that morning. And I was like, because for those of you who have been through the fertility journey, you know, like, you're supposed to pee on a stick in the morning, the first thing you do, and then you see if you have ovulation or not. And seeing the result that I had ovulation, and I knew, like, this is all coming from something that I have put into my subconscious mind, and now that is creating a physical result in my physical body. That was so empowering. And the next thing that happened was that I got an email from this woman, and she said, the woman who I bought the hypnotic recording from, she said, well, I'm going to start teaching hypnosis. And yeah, so that was the first email. And I was like, this has nothing to do with me. So I just deleted the email. But then a few days later, I received another email. And I specifically remember this because I was sitting outside the ice rink. And I was waiting in the car for my ex-husband to come out, and I opened an email, and it said, like, well, it is actually a good thing if you have no experience of being a therapist before, because then I don't have to retrain you. And if you are becoming a hypnotherapist, then you can have the freedom. You can have the freedom to work from wherever you want to work, and you can do your own thing. And I was like, that was so appealing to me, because I really, really, really wanted to have freedom. Remember, I told you, like, I wanted to be in the Maldives and I wanted to just be free, and I did not want to be stuck in a town in Sweden. It was like, that is so boring. So I was like, I want a big life. I knew my whole life I wanted a big life. Big cars, big boats, big family, big everything, big money, big fat bank account. I knew this. I wanted a big life. Who wants a big life? Write the word big life, or words. Write the words big life if you always knew that you wanted a big life. And I'm gonna see some of your comments. So Hannah says, hold on, I still think it's a bit scary going back to former lives. Oh yeah. My own lives, but not hypnosis. Okay, so many women are writing big lives now. Hold on. But not hypnosis about the now. That is... Okay, so you feel like, Hannah, okay, going to hypnosis in this lifetime, because what I also... part of what I teach is to do hypnosis for past lives, and that is something that you felt was a bit scary still, because maybe you don't know what happened in those past lives. But that will be something that we will be working on, Hannah, so you are completely safe, and I'm super, super excited for you to have that amazing experience. So Caroline, yeah, free life. Lina, big life. Marianne, big life. Sophia, big life. Yeah, okay, so Hannah says, no, fear was that it would not work for me, that I did not think I was susceptible, that it would work for others, but not for me. Okay, yeah, amazing that you're sharing this. Who feels that what I teach may be working for others but not for themselves. Who has ever felt that? For those of you who are my clients now, who's starting to know like it actually works for you. So if you are a client of mine, did you feel this before, that you felt like it may be working for others but not for me? And if you are not a client of mine, do you feel that way now? Like, it sounds good what Linda is talking about, but it probably works for others but not for me. Who feels that way, that it may be working for others but not for me? I would love to know in the comments below. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so Marianne, you say scary but super exciting. Okay, amazing, wonderful. It is truly, truly exciting, especially when we start to realize how much extraordinary power that we actually have. Because this is the thing, that we do have an extraordinary power. So this was the thing. I applied to do my first hypnosis training. Like, I have done several trainings in hypnosis nowadays, and now I have developed my own version of my own hypnosis technique, which I find is just amazing, and it is transforming women's life extremely fast. And we are working a lot with the subconscious mind, but we are even more working with our soul. Like, we need to understand our soul. If we don't know and understand our soul, we will stay quite unhappy, to be frank. Because if we see it from this perspective that our soul has come to planet Earth to do something extraordinary big, it has come here to change so many people's lives. We are, in fact, like the way I see it, we are in a big, fat, massive transformation on planet Earth right now. We are changing energies. We are going from a very, very fear-based life. Who of you has felt like Earth is quite a scary place? Say, scary place. I definitely used to feel like Earth was such a scary place. And one of my first hypnosis sessions ever, I tapped into my soul. And my soul told me, like, Linda, you are here to be in the leading edge. You are here to teach other women to step into their light and to help this world to become a more loving, happy place. I saw that so clearly, and that is what I do nowadays. That is what the Master Manifestor program is. The Master Manifestor program helps highly sensitive women with empathic gifts. They help those kind of women to tap into those gifts and to understand how they can help other people with their empathic gifts online, not from a physical place, online, so that they can have an online income, so that they can be free, make money, manifest the life they want, create a life on their own terms. Who want to create a life on their own terms? So I see that both Sophia and Marianne, you said like Earth sometimes feel like a scary place. This is the thing. We are in this big, fat, massive shift right now. We have been for several years, but we are moving faster and faster and faster. And this is part of my soul's mission. This is why I keep showing up. This is why I am expanding my program. This is why, like, my why behind everything I do is to help planet Earth move into its next phase. Amazing, Marianne. Amazing. My soul's mission is to light up the fires. I said before that I used to eat a lot of popcorn. I still really like popcorn. Who likes popcorn? Make a popcorn, the symbol of popcorn, so then I know. So I see lives as popcorns. Just imagine, this actually came through in a hypnosis session with a client the first time, and I can't remember if it was her who saw it or I saw it. I think I reprogrammed her subconscious mind with us. So it was like I saw how she was also here. Okay, so you're like me, you love popcorn. Amazing. So you know when you put the popcorn seeds, you put them in a saucepan, and then they start to pop. So they are like this small little thing, and they all kind of look the same. And then they pop, and they get into this beautiful, amazing, unique shape. Probably not two popcorns look the same when they have like developed, right? This is exactly the same thing with us humans. Most humans, when we are walking around as zombies, have you ever been on commute to work and you just see like people are sitting like this in their phones. Maybe you are one of those people like sitting this in your phone because you're just bored of life. So many people are bored of lives, and so many people are zombies. They're scrolling through Instagram, they're scrolling through Facebook, they're scrolling through Pinterest, they're going through YouTube to numb. So I used to use alcohol, but I know that so many people are using their phones to numb themselves. And when we are in that stage, when we are trying to numb ourselves, we kind of all look the same. Our energy is kind of the same as other people's. Like, everybody can just kind of have this, yeah, kind of energy. Does that make sense? Do you see what I mean? Like a zombie-like energy? Because there is no life force, right? But the thing is that when we start to wake up and we start to see our true potential that we can do through the Master Manifestor program, like that is the whole thing about the Master Manifestor program, to really tap into your own soul, to your own life force. What happens? So for those of you who are in the Master Manifestor program, who of you feel more happy? So what are the what are the shifts that you have done in your own life for those guys of you amazing women who are in the Master Manifestor program? Do you feel more happy? Do you feel more excited? Do you feel like you have more personality? This is the thing for me. The more I have realized myself and I understand more and more what am I here on earth to do. This is why, by the way, I wake up at 4 a.m. Monday to Friday. I'm like, I'm so pumped. I can't get waiting to get going. My personality is shining through more and more and more and more because I'm realizing more and more and more and more who I am. I am that unique popcorn. Like, each one of you has that unique popcorn inside of you. It's just that maybe you have not popped yet. Maybe you have not popped yet. But that popping part is available to you because you are supposed to be that unique popcorn. You are supposed to be flying around and just having fun and just enjoy your reality. This is the thing. So that was the moment that was my second part of the transformation. So the first part of the transformation was when I started my own ovulation. The second part was when I got the chance to become a hypnotherapist. And realized that I would be able to work with clients online, realized that I would be able to transform people's lives. And when I started to work with that, and I just started to realize, like, when our soul has come here to planet Earth and we can actually do something that is in alignment with our soul, we are naturally good at that. So for me, it wasn't hard to learn how to do hypnosis sessions. And I developed and I developed and developed, and I took my own trainings, and then I started to be able to channel the non-physical. So I started to work a lot with my spirit guides and the non-physical realm, and I started to get a lot of guidance in how shall I do sessions to get even better results than what I had been trained in, because I saw that there were kind of some flaws in all the techniques that I had been trained in, and I was like, for my kind of people, stuff were missing. So that's where I really decided to develop more and more of my own uniqueness. And that is what I teach nowadays. So those women who are accepted in, like, it is an application process. I don't take on just anybody. It is an application process. But those women that I take on, those are women who feel like, I don't want to live in the victim mentality anymore. I don't want to walk around in my life being numb. I don't want to walk around feeling sorry for myself and just complaining over my own life. I'm ready to take my power back, and I'm ready to learn techniques, how I can really help and heal people online. And I'm ready to start to make money from my amazing work and doing that online. Those are the women, and they have this highly sensitive nature. They understand people, they can communicate with people. Like, those are the women that I take onto my program. I am so picky with whom I take onto my program, but that is because I want to make sure that it is super high quality. I want to make sure, because I also have a guarantee. Like, after you're done with the program, the guarantee is that you will have had your first paid client, and that is a 12,000 SEK paid client. So I need to make sure that everybody that I bring on to the program, that they are a perfect match. And when somebody is a perfect match, then the process is really, really, really fast. The process is fast. to start to understand our own gifts, to start to understand who am I as a soul, to start to understand why did I come here to planet Earth from the first beginning, who am I here to serve, what am I here to do, how can I make money from that, and how can I really use those empathic gifts that I have. So my mission is to create the biggest army of light workers that the world has ever seen. Because life is now, it is happening now. This is the time of transformation. And I nowadays feel like Earth is such an amazing place to be. I am not scared of Earth anymore. I used to be scared. I'm not scared anymore because I know my role. I know my role here on planet Earth, and my role on planet Earth is amazing. And I love being able to inspire other women, to connect with amazing women, to just show what is possible. So the woman that I spoke to, like I told you earlier in the cafe this morning, I told her, I was like, yeah, we are very soon going to go to Mexico, and we're probably going to be there for like a month, and then we're going back to Bali, and we're going to be there for a few months, and maybe we are also going to test Vietnam and be there for a while. We just found a new place in Vietnam, not a new place, but it was a new place for us. And it just feels like we have the most exciting year ahead of us, and each one of you could have that exciting year ahead of you as well. If you could travel to one country and you could stay there for a month or 2 months and just work online with amazing clients from there and make money. I can make really good money from there. The only thing you need is good internet. What country would you choose? I would love to know. What country would you choose? What city would you choose? Or city or state or whatever? Where would you want to go? I would love to hear that in the comments below. So yeah, while you are typing that in, your dream destination, if you were free, if you could travel anywhere and you could work from there, you could have your own laptop business, you could have your purposeful laptop lifestyle, you could escape the rat race, you could say goodbye to your boss. Like that was, by the way, one of the finest moments in my whole life, when I said goodbye to my boss. Who want to say goodbye to your boss? Write in the comments below. Goodbye to my boss. Like that was such an incredible moment. Such an incredible moment to just like, hey, I'm off. I'm doing my own thing from now on. Marianne, Maldives, amazing. I know, Sophia, how it felt that your place is also the Maldives, right? Maybe you have more places. So amazing, wonderful. Marianne, is there a specific place in the Maldives where you would like to go that you have kind of set your mind to? Like, oh, that's really the place where I would like to go. That would be amazing to know, because it is such an incredible, like when we are tapping in to our truth. Goodbye, boss. Goodbye, boss. I see many of you want to say goodbye to the boss, and that is so possible. It starts with you. Like you need to make the change. With the old programming, you are gonna stay stuck in what you have right now. But when you are willing and open to change the programming, your transformation can be huge. So I went from that alcohol habit every single night to waking up in the mornings feeling super, super excited. That took me about, like, it was a 9 months transformation. 9 months. So it's less than a year. Less than a year. And within 9 months, I had also done a physical transformation, a massive physical transformation in my own reality. I had realized that I was living in the wrong city. I realized that I was in the wrong relationship. I realized that I was in the wrong business, the network marketing business I was in back then. I was starting to make money on my own, all online, and I manifested a new apartment in Stockholm, and like my life transformed so dramatically in 9 months. So I know that this is possible. Like, I have done this journey, and I see my clients are doing this amazing, incredible journey right now, and it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to see, Hannah says, sounds lovely. I cannot choose one country. Africa, several countries. In Asia, several countries. South America, several countries. Amazing, wonderful. Sophia, you're saying so many different places, but Maldives especially. And Marianne says the beaches, many places, many countries, house in Portugal. Amazing, wonderful. Marianne, I would love to hear more about your dreams. Also, because you're saying also Portugal, that is one of my visions for the near future, is to buy a house, a very nice house in Portugal. So, yes, love this. Amazing. Thank you so much, women. If you're interested in like how much can you actually make as a master manifestor hypnocoach, send me a message and just ask about that, and you will get an idea of what is actually possible when you make a transition from being stuck working for a boss to actually creating your own soul-based business, helping people, making money online. Just shoot me a message. I'm sending you so much love. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.